and good morning everyone. Welcome back in your SST class. Let's just revise what we have studied. We have studied about the great Indian desert. We have seen about the climate, its location, its vegetation, and the life in a Thar desert. Now students, today we are going to start something which you know but in detail. That is chapter number 6, the Southern Plateau. Now what is plateau? It rises higher than the surrounding and at top it is flat. That is plateau. And as you know that a south part of India is plateau and that is known as Southern Plateau. So let's get started with our chapter number 6. So students, there are some points we are going to cover in this chapter. These are its location and physical features, its people, their dress, language and festivals. So students, the Southern Plateau is bordered by the following: the Aravalli Range on the northwest, the Rajmahal Hills on the northeast, the hilly region called the Eastern Ghats on the east, and the hilly Western Ghats on the west. So students, some of these we have seen already in previous chapters. We have seen the Aravalli Range, we have seen the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats also. So now students, we will see how the Southern Plateau is bordered by these. Now students, question comes that where is Southern Plateau actually located? So students, to the south of the northern plains, Southern Plateau is located. And students, you should know that what is plateau and what is plains, because generally when we look at the plateau or the plains, they look same, but there is a difference between them, that plains have gently slopes, okay, and when we talk about the plateau, so it rises higher than the surrounding, then at top it is flat. Triangular shape of the south part of India is covered with Deccan Plateau, that is known as Southern Plateau. The land is rocky and uneven. Now let's see this in map. So here you can see I have shown you how much part is covered with the plateau. You can see the Western Ghats also here and the Eastern Ghats also. Here to the south part of Northern Plains, Deccan Plateau comes. Okay, now let's move further and talk about some more. So students, here the Narmada Valley divides the Southern Plateau into two parts. To the north is the Central Highlands and to the south is the Deccan Plateau. So students, the Narmada Valley, we have seen about the valley, okay. Lowland between the hills and mountain is called valleys. So here Narmada Valley divides the Southern Plateau into two parts. So one is to the north is the Central Highlands and to the south is the Deccan Plateau. Okay. Now here I'll show you on first number in yellow part. Now let me just point it here. Here you can see the on first number Central Highlands. Here on second number you can see Deccan Plateau, and here you can see Chota Nagpur. So about these we are going to see. Now move further. Let's talk about first the Central Highlands. When Narmada Valley divides the Southern Plateau into two parts, so to the north it is Central Highlands. The Central Highlands includes the Malabar Plateau in the northwest and the Chota Nagpur Plateau in the northeast. We have seen just before in map that Chota Nagpur Plateau to the northeast side of the Central Highlands. In Central Highlands includes the Malabar Plateau to the northwest, Chota Nagpur Plateau in the northeast. The Malabar Plateau lies between the Aravalli Hills and the Vindhya Hills, and it includes parts of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Some important cities in the region are Gwalior, Indore and Bhopal. Now students, let's see this in map. Here students, you can see the Malabar Plateau. Here I want to show you here. Malabar Plateau, can you see? And this is the Indian desert. This is the Chota Nagpur Plateau here, Western Ghat. Okay, this is the Vindhya Mountains. Okay, so students, let's talk about the Chota Nagpur. So Chota Nagpur plateau includes much of Jharkhand and parts of Odisha, Bihar and Chhattisgarh, and it is rich in minerals like coal, iron, mica and manganese. Important coal mines are present in Giridih, Bihar, Jharia, Jharkhand and Raniganj, West Bengal. Two of India's largest steel plants are located at Bokaro and Bhilai, and Panna in Madhya Pradesh has diamond mines. And students, many parts of the Chota Nagpur plateau is covered with thick forest, from where we get the wood and important forest products. Understood? So students, here I want to show you the Chota Nagpur plateau, that includes what it includes. Here I want to show you. Here you can see the Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal and part of Odisha. Chota Nagpur plateau covers this much part. Some part of Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal and Odisha. Okay, now let's move further and see another thing, the Deccan Plateau. So the Deccan Plateau is bound by the western and eastern Ghats. It covers parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So students, we have seen this in previous chapter also, the Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. West side Western Ghat, east side Eastern Ghats, and it covers a part of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Large area to the south of the Satpura mountains, this is Deccan Plateau. Now let's move further. The Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri flow from west to east and fall into Bay of Bengal. The Narmada and Tapi rivers flow from east to west and fall into the Arabian Sea. So students, this you should know that Narmada and Tapi rivers flow from east to west. Okay, and it falls into Arabian Sea. And Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, these are the rivers which flow from west to east and fall into the Bay of Bengal. Because to the east side of India, which water body is located? Yes, you are correct. Bay of Bengal. Okay, and to the west side of our country, which water body is located? So that is Arabian Sea. So you have to remember these rivers names. So student, do you know why these Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri flowing from west to east? Because most part of the Deccan Plateau slopes from the west to east. So that is why these rivers are also flowing like that. Now students, look at this map. Here you can find the rivers I told you, like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Here you can see these are flowing from east to west and then falling into Arabian Sea. Okay, and here you can see the Narmada and Tapi is flowing from west to east and flowing into Bay of Bengal. Now understood? Now students, will see further. Actually students, most of the rivers in Deccan Plateau are fed by rain. Okay, they are not fed by the melting snow. So students, they are having very little water during summer. And sometimes if the rain is not good, they dry up during summer. So that these are called seasonal rivers. Here also same thing is written. Let's just read. The rivers of Deccan Plateau are fed by rain. Therefore, they have very little water during the summer months. Such rivers are called seasonal rivers. The rivers in the region flow much faster than in the rivers of the northern plains. Since the land is uneven, they form a number of waterfalls. The Jog Falls on the Sharavati River in Karnataka is one of the highest waterfalls in India. So this you have to keep in your mind. The Jog Falls that is on the Sharavati rivers in Karnataka is the highest waterfalls in India. Now we will see the picture of Jog Falls. So this is the beautiful picture of Jog Falls. Rivers like Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri form deltas before flowing into the Bay of Bengal. Large parts of Deccan Plateau have black soil where cotton and sugarcane grow very well. Dams have been built on many of these rivers. For example, the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam on the river Krishna. Now we will see the picture of Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. So this is the picture of Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. This is so students, these dams, what they do, they store the water for irrigation and provide electricity. Now let's move further and see the difference between the rivers of the northern plain and those of the Deccan Plateau. So students, rivers of the northern plain and rivers of the Deccan Plateau. So there is a difference between them. And the rivers of the northern plains have water throughout the year because it gets the water by melting snow. And the seasonal rivers, the water can dry up during summer because they get the water from rain. Flow slowly on reaching the plains. Okay, it reaches to the plains and flows slowly. But the rivers of the Deccan Plateau flow much faster than the rivers of the northern plains. Okay, because the parts of the land of Deccan Plateau slopes from west to east. And life in the southern plateau. The southern plateau regions cover a vast area and hence the climate and soil vary from place to place. The region experiences heavy rainfall and however the climate is moderate in this region. So by this you have understood that the climate is moderate, neither very hot nor very cold. Okay, and it covers a vast area, so that is why the climate and soil are different from place to place. Now so let's take our first state, that is Maharashtra. Maharashtra is located in the northwestern part of Deccan Plateau. Its capital is Mumbai, an important trade and industrial center. Mumbai is also the biggest center for film production in India. Okay, some other important cities of Maharashtra are Pune, Nashik, Nagpur, Aurangabad and Solapur. Godavari and Krishna are two important rivers in the state. Maharashtra is the largest producer of cotton and the second largest producer of sugarcane in India. The state also produces fruits such as grapes, oranges and bananas. The state also produces fruits, so you know very well the oranges of Nagpur are very famous. So let's see the picture of the Nagpur oranges. Okay, the textiles, automobiles, electronics are some important industries in Maharashtra. The traditional clothes of men are dhoti and shirt with cap called a Gandhi topi. The women wear saris which are tied in a special way. Marathi is the common language. The most popular festival in the state is Ganesh Chaturthi. The traditional dress, here you can see the woman is wearing sari but in different way. And here you can see a man which is wearing the Gandhi topi. Okay, now let's move further and see, this is the kind of dance drama and this is known as tamasha and it is very popular in state. Karnataka students. Towards the south of Maharashtra lies Karnataka. Its capital is Bengaluru and it is called a garden city. Mysore, Hubli and Dharwad are other important cities of Karnataka. Krishna and Kaveri are the two important rivers in the state. The state is a leading producer of coffee, teak and sandalwood. They are well known for its products. Bangalore is the biggest software development center in India. Some other important industry in Karnataka are aeroplane, watches, electronic goods and silk. Most of the gold mine in India comes from the Kolar gold mines in Karnataka. The people of Karnataka speak Kannada. The men mostly wear lungis and shirts. So student, most of the women wear the saris, and the Dasara, Ugadi and Shivratri are the some important festivals there. Okay, and the many beautiful temples and historical monuments in the states, that is the Brindavan garden in Mysore and Jog Falls are tourist attraction of this place. Okay, understood? Andhra Pradesh. Its capital is Hyderabad. Visakhapatnam and Vijayawada are some of the other important cities of Andhra Pradesh. It is the largest producer of tobacco. Beadry work on brass and copper is famous handicrafts of the state. The rivers Krishna and Godavari flow through the state. This region is known as the rice bowl of India because it is ideal for the cultivation of rice. The people of Andhra Pradesh speak Telugu. Dussehra and Eid are some important festivals of Andhra Pradesh. Kuchipudi is the famous dance form of Andhra Pradesh. Also students, men basically they wear the shirt and lungis, and here also women wear specially sari. Except Dussehra and Eid, but people also celebrate the Ugadi and Sankranti festival and Christmas also. One more important point about this, that the Venkateshwara temple in the Tirupati is visited by the lakhs of devotees every year. Understood students? Now let's go to the next. The next is Telangana. The state of Telangana was formed in June 2014. Its capital is Hyderabad. The important cities of the state are Warangal, Karimnagar, Nizamabad and Khammam. Two major rivers, Godavari and Krishna, flow through Telangana. Rice, cotton, sugarcane and mango are the main crops grown here. There are rich reserves of coal at Singareni. Here, beadry ware is a well-known handicraft made here. It is made from a mixture of zinc and copper with inlay work in silver. Telugu and Urdu are the main languages spoken here. Gusadi is popular folk dance. Here, Batukamma, Bonalu and Eid are the main festivals of the state. Now let's move further and see about Tamil Nadu. Its capital is Chennai. Heavy engineering, textiles and handloom are some of industries in the state. The silk sarees of Kanchipuram are very famous. The rivers Kaveri, Vaigai and Palla flow through the state. People here speak Tamil. The main festival is Pongal. Bharatnatyam is the most popular dance form of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is famous for temples. Madurai and Thanjavur are famous temple towns. Students, here the traditional dress of men is here lungi and shirts. They wear lungi or sometimes they wear the dhoti, and the women mostly wear the saris. And the traditional dress for small girls is pavadai and blouse, and slightly older girls wear half saris. Okay, now Madhya Pradesh. So it is called the heart of our India. The capital of Madhya Pradesh is Bhopal. Large areas of Madhya Pradesh are covered with forests. It has several wildlife parks such as Kana and Bandhavgarh. Rivers like Tapi, Chambal and Narmada are in this state. Chhattisgarh. The capital of this new state is Raipur. The state is rich in minerals such as coal, iron ore, aluminium ore and diamonds. Bhilai has one of India's biggest steel plants. Now let's move further, and we have reached to the end of the chapter. So let's talk about that. The southern plateau is triangular in shape and the land is rocky and uneven. It covers parts of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. It is divided by Narmada Valley into the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Okay, the Central Highlands include the Malwa Plateau and the Chota Nagpur Plateau. And the Deccan Plateau has several rain-fed rivers and waterfalls. The states in the region are rich in minerals and have well-developed industries. Most states in the region have black soil, which is good for cotton and sugarcane. Now students, this is the time for me to leave. I hope you have understood about the Southern Plateau. Till then, take care of yourself.